What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. Now you guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely going to want to check this one out. As it now appears that things have gone completely south for that Somalian representative Ilhan Omar after brand new evidence was just uncovered in the Somalian fraud rings across the state of Minnesota, guys. And I'm excited to get into this one, so when I'm straight into it, all I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
We've got a lot of problems with a lot of Democrats, and I think we need to get to the bottom of the issues with Ilhan Omar. I think she engaged in immigration fraud. I think she's covering up Medicaid fraud, and we've got to ask ourselves, why do we want a community in this country where 80% of the people who've been here for decades are on welfare and they're stealing billions of dollars? I want Ilhan Omar to lead the transit back home of all of these people. I also found a couple months ago that half the Somali refugees had engaged in immigration fraud in order to get it. There's the famous story about Ilhan Omar marrying her brother. So we have brought a cancer into this country, people who are just here to take as much as they can, to fleece us and then send it back to their third world nation. We need to round up these people and we need to send them home. And the best thing Donald Trump can give Americans this Christmas is mass deportation of these third world people.
All right, folks. So as you can see, we now have a full-on legal storm brewing for that Representative Ilhan Omar behind the Somali fraud scandals that have been discovered throughout her state of Minnesota, which some she facilitated, as she was the one who created the bill that brought about the largest COVID-era fraud scheme that we've ever seen in our nation's history, and now she has to pay for it. And if you're wondering why this legal storm is now hitting Ilhan Omar so hard, it's because the evidence is now pointing directly to her connection. You guys have to see this right here.
Right here we have two child daycare centers. We have the Minnesota Child Care Center, and then we also have Nuna. Between the two, 2.66 million. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Why are you recording?
Yes. We would like to know.
Well, it says we're trying to figure out 102 children. Is that for this facility?
What is the name? The facility?
It's from the state of Minnesota website. It says you have 102 children here in your child care.
Which child care name is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
Where the children are?
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here. And you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you? Which department? That is harassment.
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look at this daycare center right here, no children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over $2.6 million. We were just curious, where are the children at? Here's another daycare center inside this same building.
We don't want you to be videotaping anything.
Where is all the money going for if there's no children at these daycare centers?
Sir,
Yes.
I told you, please leave.
Yes, we have a question though. Where is the children at these daycare centers if there's millions of dollars?
Ask the local government, yeah.
We have the paper right here. Come here.
Who are you, first of all?
My name's Nick Shirley.
You don't have any permission to record me, period.
Can we talk outside?
You don't have permission to record.
She doesn't either have.
You
She
do
doesn't
not
have permission to record me.
No, you cannot stop people on the street and question them.
We can ask.
You don't have any permission.
Where are the children?
I will sue you. You don't have any permission. We have nothing to do with this. You
Okay.
understand?
Then are there
So
children?
leave. Please leave.
Are there children here?
Please leave.
Where are the children? $2.6 million for a daycare center. We just want to know, where are the children?
Who you work for?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Who you work for?
I work for myself, Nick Shirley.
Okay, what are you recording?
We're wondering, where are the children? $2.66 million for
You're not talking to
the
the
Minnesota
right person.
Child Care Center.
You're not talking to the right person.
Are there children that come here? Answer
You're
the
not
question.
talking
Are
to
there
the right
children?
person. Leave.
There's no children inside this
I
building.
don't know who you're talking to. Leave.
That's just a simple question. Where are the children at?
Wow, guys, that's absolutely unbelievable stuff right there. Shouts out to Nick Shirley, that independent journalist, for actually doing the Lord's work and exposing these Somalian frauds. So he took to the streets of Minnesota, visiting these so-called child care centers that were receiving millions of dollars in taxpayer funding from the state of Minnesota to house these child care centers, these daycares, and you see there are no children in sight, none whatsoever. They instantly get defensive over the most simple questions, and it just shows that these folks are as corrupt as can be right here. They won't even have their faces shown on camera. You can't make this kind of stuff up. And this brings me right back to my point. Ilhan Omar needs to be held accountable for the fraud that she has facilitated. I mean, she's the one that introduced a lot of these child care programs.
I want your thoughts. Ilhan Omar, should she be expelled from Congress? The president said possibly even the country. Looks like there's no record of her being a naturalized U.S. citizen through her father. She might have lied about married the brother. What do you think?
If she's not naturalized citizen in our country, she's ineligible to be in Congress. So yes, she should be removed.
Byron Donalds, as usual, hitting that nail right square on its head, where he says that Ilhan Omar does not have the proper documentation, then she should be removed, just like anyone else would. I mean, just to put it in perspective, think about it. If it were you or I, if we were in the shoes of Ilhan Omar and there was so much evidence that pointed towards our fraud, there wouldn't be a question or doubt in my mind that we would be removed and expelled from Congress. There is no question at all on that. And that is exactly why President Donald Trump has been making the comments about her being expelled from Congress and possibly even deported. She has been illegitimate since the jump.
Yeah, I want to see people. Yeah, I want to see people that contribute. I don't want to see Somalia. I don't want to see a woman that, you know, marries her brother to get in and then becomes a congressman, does nothing but complain. All she does is complain, 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 and yet her country's a mess. You know, it's one of the worst in the world. Let her go back, fix up her own country. Somalia, yeah, and I was right about it. You know, I started complaining about Somalia long before the scandal. The horrible things they're doing to Minnesota, it's incredible. They have an incompetent governor there too. The Democrats are running some bad ships.
President Trump is exactly right here, especially when it comes to these folks that come from these foreign nations and they're seeking a better life for themselves and their loved ones, pursuing that American dream. But once they get here, they do nothing. Similar to that Representative Ilhan Omar, they just sit and complain and they trash America, they trash our values, and they don't even attempt to assimilate with our cultures and our values and the way we do things here in America. I mean, if they love their country so much, why don't they go back to that home country instead of being here in America and constantly complaining and whining about it? It makes no sense. And based on Ilhan Omar's comments on this one right here, she's not afraid. She's essentially been challenging President Donald Trump, his administration, to act upon her misconduct. So if she's not scared to go home, go ahead and send her packing. It makes the most sense.
I mean, I have no worry. I don't know how they take away my citizenship and like deport me, but I don't even know like why that's such a scary threat. Like, I'm not the 8-year-old who escaped war anymore. I'm grown. My kids are grown. Like, I can go live wherever I want.
Once again, we see that Ilhan Omar is essentially doubling down on her dare on President Donald Trump to send her back. I mean, she says she does not care if President Trump sends her back. I mean, she's grown now, so the country that she loves so much is where she belongs. She does not like it here in America. She does not like the folks that live and reside in our country. I don't understand why they want to be here so badly unless they're trying to tear us down, bring them down with them. I mean, she came from a very failing country and she comes into a successful country and now she's trashing us. She wants us to turn our country into a failed country. It's the only thing that I can make out of this whole situation right here. But wait, folks, this isn't just an isolated event or isolated fraud to child care or immigration fraud on behalf of Ilhan Omar. This fraud spans all the way across the board.
Here in Minnesota, a local realtor reached out to me to tell me about another way that Somalians are scamming Minnesotans out of their taxpayer dollars in her community alone, Somalians have bought up over 455 homes. They buy these homes, claiming they're turning these homes into home health care centers. She says the way we know Somalians have bought these homes is because all of a sudden, extremely nice cars start showing up. Mercedes, BMWs, the nicest cars are parked in the driveway. And she said by law, the state will not come out and inspect these homes and make sure these homes even have clients living in these homes. She also said, as a realtor, she cannot disclose to people wanting to buy homes in this neighborhood that Somalians have bought that home and they're using that as a home health care center. She said these homes can even take people in who've just been released from jail, and the neighborhood does not need to know about this. But she says many of these homes do not even have clients in them. But the state is writing them checks every month for the clients that the Somalians say are in these homes. And these Somalians are making millions of dollars off of these homes every year. The Somalians have figured out exactly the perfect plan as to how to scam Minnesota taxpayers out of their money. They are banking on this, making millions of dollars, and the government here in Minnesota is too lazy to go and check it out and to see if there's even clients living in these homes. The fraud in Minnesota is so deep.
It's all coming out now, guys. You wonder how that total got up to over $9 billion in Somalian fraud discovered throughout the state of Minnesota. Well, there it is right there. These Somalian fraudsters have been taking advantage of American systems in all facets. That be home health care, that be child care, that be autism or disability centers. They're taking advantage of the system and no one's even checking. There's no oversight whatsoever. The folks in leadership ought to be ashamed. And this home health care scam, it's not just a myth, and folks aren't just standing outside of buildings. We had the independent journalist that you guys see on the front end, big shout out to him, Nick Shirley, actually doing a little bit more reporting and due diligence, actually taking it out to the streets and going to these so-called home health care centers to see exactly what they are doing and if he could get signed up for some sort of health care. And the way that they responded, it's shocking. You guys have to see this for yourselves.
Right here you have a list of all of the healthcare companies. Loads of them right here. We want healthcare.
No, it's okay.
Yes, we'd like to speak about getting healthcare here.
No.
Why can't I get healthcare here?
No, wait.
Warning, you are under video surveillance. No trespassing, security armed. This is the strangest place I've ever been to get healthcare. Just a bunch of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here. Another healthcare company right here. There are 3 healthcare companies inside of this building right here in this room of 7C. Now we have another Helping Hands, Home Care LLC, another healthcare company. Present Help right here. We're looking for the best rates of healthcare here inside this building because we have so many options. Who can we talk about getting the best healthcare?
I don't know.
No?
Sorry.
All right. We will not get any healthcare here. David, this is one of the stranger places I've ever been. Literally, healthcare every door you go to, yet nobody will give you a rate. How much money do you think's been funneled through this building?
Every year, I would say 50 to 60 million at least.
And finally, we were accepted into one of the daycare centers and they actually took down our information to give us a rate. However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
We received a complaint that gentlemen matching your description were in this building harassing the individuals who stay here.
Oh, we're checking out the rates for healthcare. Because there's 14 healthcare companies inside this building, so.
Okay.
Well, that's not what he said. He said there's 14 companies here, and he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers, everyone here is fraudulent.
Okay. So
he's here with some kind of like propaganda.
No, we're just checking.
No, this is a area that we're allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance. Is there any other reason that you guys are here?
Well, we were checking rates.
No, he's not.
We were checking rates. We asked for rates.
No, you're not.
Okay. I'm gonna have, if you guys are all good, we're gonna step outside and we can continue this conversation.
All right, let's leave. So, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police have arrived. We were checking out the rates, seeing what was happening inside this building. No one would really speak with us. We did go inside the one daycare center, and she actually did give us rates for childcare. Much respect to that lady. What's the problem, officer?
Well, so again, we've been getting reports from multiple individuals that you guys were harassing individuals who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also when the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance at this address.
Yeah.
So
as we got escorted out of this building, the Somalis filmed us as we left, and we headed over to the next building that had 22 of the same home health care providers operating from inside of the building.
Right here you have multicultural home care. And right here it says it's open, but can't even get in.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness. I can't even say I'm shocked or surprised once again, because we've all known this from Jump Street. I mean, the leadership, the Democratic leadership over there in the state of Minnesota ought to be ashamed of them. I mean, just think about what they allowed to happen on their watch. And the craziest part about it is none of these folks have yet to be held accountable. I'm talking about not just the fraudsters. I'm talking about the leadership, those that were supposed to be overseeing these, healthcare, childcare, these government assistance programs. It doesn't make sense how they're allowing Minnesota state taxpayer dollars to go straight to waste, straight to fraud, and be shipped over to these foreign countries. You just, like I said, you can't make this kind of stuff up. It really grinds my gears. They continue to argue and say that President Donald Trump's administration is going after folks specifically because of their race or nationality, but that's not the case whatsoever. We're seeing this was majority, almost 90% of these fraudulent cases that were discovered in the state of Minnesota were Somalian fraudsters. I mean, right there, that gives you the warrant to be at least a little skeptical or questioning what's going on with these Somalians in the state of Minnesota. But it's very clear that the Democratic leadership has to be in on it in some facet. I mean, just think about it. Ilhan Omar, Governor Tim Walz, their Attorney General Keith Ellison, they all let this go wild. It ran rampant in their state, and it's years. It was all the way back. This dates back to 2018, 2019 when this first started and sparked. So you can't tell me that this wasn't brought to your attention. You can't tell me that these whistleblowers, you really thought that they were lying or just making up these false stories in order to, demonize an entire community. No, that's not the case whatsoever. There is nothing that you guys could tell me that would make me believe that this wasn't intentional. This wasn't just, incompetency. This was intentional corruption that we're seeing from these Democratic officials. And it's finally time for the hammer to come down, for justice to be served. This is exactly what we voted for. This is true journalism, reporting, bringing out all the evidence. Big shout out to Nick Shirley. He's on X. I believe he's on YouTube as well. That guy actually did the Lord's work and actually taking it and getting it on foot and getting on footage actually of these widespread fraud rings, these criminal facilities. You see that it's broad daylight, the middle of the day on a weekday, and you're telling me there's not a child in sight at these so-called childcare centers? That's wild to me, because I know firsthand, if you're even approaching within 20 feet of a childcare center, you usually hear a bunch of screaming, hollering kids having a good time. You open the door up, you can see some type of, maybe kids walking down the hallway in a single file line to the next classroom, or some type of educational activities going on. But there was none of that. You open those doors and you seen a bunch of fraudsters. That was it. And they didn't even really want to open the door. We've seen that most of these facilities were locked down in the middle of business hours. It made no sense for them to be shut down alongside those home health care centers. It really just raises the question, when are we going to finally start acting upon these fraudsters? We've seen Representative Randy Fine, filing and trying to get Congress to start to move her Ilhan Omar. If she's not going to be deported, she might as well be expelled, removed from Congress, because I know if the shoe were on the other foot and this were Republican representatives in a red state that were doing this, oh my goodness, all hell would break loose. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. I'm just going to let you guys know straight up. Like, there is no way that they would allow us on this side to get away with it. So the same rules should apply. There shouldn't be some two-tiered system of justice where the Democrats get to fly above the law while folks on the right or folks in support of President Donald Trump have to abide by every single law in the book. No. Those days have to end, guys. I'm going to continue to follow this one every step of the way. I've been seeing reports buzzing around the net that congressmen and women are now bringing forth a vote to see if Ilhan Omar should remain in Congress or not. But I'm not sure that will go on our side, because it's the Dems that are going to vote alongside Republicans. So the Dems usually side with their own people. They don't care care if they're dirty or they're in the right. They're going to side with them either way. And I can't say that Ilhan Omar will be held accountable, but like I said, we're going to continue to follow this one every step of the way. Guys, definitely hop in the comment section. Comments are open. I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking about this one. My question I'm going to leave you guys here with today is, do you believe that Ilhan Omar will face any consequence for any of her egregious fraud? All the evidence that has been discovered, whether that be immigration fraud, that be a marriage fraud, that be this widespread Somalian fraud. I mean, there's so many to pick from. Do you guys think that she'll be held accountable for anyone, any single one? Hop in that comment section. Like I said, comments are open, and I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking about this one. But I definitely do appreciate you guys who have made it this far in the video. Yo, big shouts to you guys. You are the ones that I do this for every single day, day in and day out. I truly do love all my supporters, especially the ones who take the time out of their day to listen to your boy Retro, to get the scoops, and I try to make sure that I include as much of the juicy stuff, the details, that groundbreaking details that you guys love to see. I feel like we cover a lot of things that other channels are not here, and that's what sets us apart from all these other individuals. I'm not knocking what they're doing, but I'm just going to say your boy Retro is always bringing a bombshell report. But guys, before you get out of here today, please, 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 it really does help out. Helps us keep the lights on, the bills paid over here. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy more content like this, I'll catch you guys on the next one week.